And welcome back to the Scarred Ranch House building project here in Scarland, a land where we take survival building to the extreme. And in today's episode, we're going to tour the landscape, our custom built landscape that we created to surround our brand new house, which we toured in our last episode. Now, I need your help before we get started. I need your help in deciding what we should name this custom built biome we've made. This biome has custom trees, custom ground cover, plants, rivers, and snow-capped mountains. So think of it as we kind of go along and let me know what you guys think would be an amazing name. So let's get right into it, my friends. And we're here in the early morning hours and you can smell that crisp mountain air as we get started here. And I just absolutely love the shaders mod. Look at the depth, look at the detail it brings out in all of the blocks. I wish Minecraft had something of default that was similar to this shaders pack, but let's get right into it. So as we kind of tour, I want to talk a little bit about how to approach taking your beautiful build. Say you have a beautiful house, but you want to increase the landscaping, really make it feel like it's a part of the world. So that's kind of what we did here. We started with a blank slate. And as you can remember in our previous episode, the before and after, this was just a flat green field of multiple biomes, and we blended them all together to make this. So we started, like I said, a blank slate, and we started just building up little hills. And one of the biggest things I say when creating houses like this is to, when you're actually in the building process, build it up on a little platform depending on how you want, and then build the hill up around it. It really gives you a lot of flexibility when trying to decide your landscaping. So as you can see, look at those sparkles on that Enderman are kind of amazing. I just had to point that out. Anyway, and I think this really helps kind of tie this whole area in together and really study sight lines of your build. Really think about that. Let me back up a little bit. And as you can see, let me just back up just ever so slightly. As you can see, once we kind of take our little trail all the way around here, and we open up into this perspective where we have this beautiful little trail leading up to our front door of our house, and we have our snow-capped mountains in the background. Everything in this is by design so that you have these beautiful sight lines. Of course, the mountains are directly behind the house, and then within the house, of course, the windows are adjusted to face the particular directions. And then off to our right-hand side, this takes us into the actual ranch. So also, you know, coming up with your ideas, think about all of the extra details, if you will, that go along with a house. So say you're going to build, like we did, a ranch. You got to think of barns. You got to think of fields full of cows, horses and water towers and windmills and all sorts of beautiful things. So in this little area, we thought about, we want to build a barn. We don't want to build just a standard red barn. No, we want to create something that feels part of the landscape, part of the house design. So that's what we did. This barn literally is a little bit more fancy than the house we actually built. This is kind of a nice little courtyard here. You can see where some big trees were cut down to make way for the barn. So I think that's a nice little touch. Over in this little gateway right here, it kind of leads out to the fields, and you can see some of the happy little cows out there. But let's actually go inside the barn. Now, Shaders Mod doesn't make this look that great inside, so bear in mind of that. But as you can see, there's lots and lots of beautiful details in here. And how did you get out of your stall? How did you get out? But as you can see, there's some different carrots, just little bits of stores, because of course this is a survival world. So this is a totally functional barn. So let's head up our staircase here. And as you can see, we got some beautiful details up here. This is an area where I wanted some of the ranch hands to have a place to live. So inside here, we have some bunk beds. So it's just that extra level of detail when you think of who would work, who would run the facility. Of course, we got to make some bunk beds and a place to eat and all of those wonderful things. So let's turn the corner over here. And as you can see, if we look out, we're bringing up some hay via a lift right here. So of course, they've got to eat those cows. And then to our right-hand side here, I completely forgot about this room. I'm going to be honest there. But look at that beautiful view out there. Absolutely stunning. And like I said, those are the happiest cows in all of Minecraft. So let's go back out here, and we're just going to take the express route. We're just going to take the express route down. As you can see, we've got some cows in here. These are kind of my like seed cows. So these are kind of always in here in case I lose all the cows out in the field. I always have some extras in here. And then of course we have all of our horses in their stalls. And then just a little hay room over there. And then I forgot what's in here. Oh, the leads. That's right. We got our leads. We got our saddle room looking absolutely amazing. And then once we head out, This is where we have a cart bringing in some more hay over there. And now we have our blacksmith. Now our blacksmith is of course where the horses get their shoes. So we got our horse right here. This beautiful horse is getting ready to have his horseshoes put on. So that's why he's in this kind of little corral thing. It's just a little design I've come up with. And of course we got a little forge here for, you know, branding and all the ranch related things. So I think that came out cool. And it just helps kind of establish story and reason, and that's kind of the main purpose with this entire build. And of course we have a beautiful water tower to help out with all the water needs of the ranch. But let's actually head out this gate here, and I don't know if I can cross through. No, but we have these beautiful kind of kind of Wyoming style or Teton style ranch gates, and I think those look really cool, and fences that kind of go along the property. And most of the trees are all custom. There's a few, you know, just standard pine trees or fir trees that were built up on the sides. What I like to do when I'm running low of spruce leaves or things like that, I'll grow up a standard one and then just sparsely add some custom leaves here and there. But the majority of all the trees were ground up, custom built. So out here, you can see the beautiful mountains out in the distance. We have our pond. And there's the windmill sticking up over the trees there. When we originally built the windmill, we had it way up in the air on a platform. And I told you guys, trust me, my friends, trust me. That's going to be amazing when we're done. And I think we did succeed in that. So let's look at the side of our barn also. When you're building, you know, your landscape, think about, like we talked about, really incorporating it into the land. So start growing up some of the plants on the sides of the building. My main goal with landscaping always is to make the builds not feel as if they were just plopped onto the ground. And that's kind of my goal with adding some of the foundation rock down below and some of the grass and some of the leaves kind of growing up on the sides. And then of course we have some of our custom trees. And then throughout this entire area, we use path blocks. The reason being is my world is very old, very, very old. 2011, this was created. So there's a lot of weird things have happened to the world. So there was 4 biomes kind of mismatched all over this surrounding landscape. So what I decided to do was take the path block and make that into kind of a golden grass, if you will. And that covered up all the different biome colors that we have out here. We had about 4, I believe, 4 to 3 different green colors. So I think we succeeded in really adding some beautiful landscape and also having something unique, something that covered up the ugliness and kept the nice. So that's kind of the main goal. And here's our happy little cows having just a great time. And some of the backdrop trees, like I said before, some of those aren't custom, but the majority of the trees within the surrounding areas up here are all custom built. And of course, there's our windmill way up on the hill. Now down here, I let you guys decide what we should name the river. And Golden Valley, something about it felt right. Something just felt right about naming the river Golden Valley. And I thank you guys for the name. Very, very much appreciated. But like we said, we got to come up with a name for the entire biome. Say Mojang came to me and was like, Scar, we like your custom biome you've created here with a path block in the golden fields. But we need a name, and I don't have a name, so you guys are gonna have to help me with that. But there's the main backdrop. The main focal point of the entire build, of course, is the snow-capped mountains. So these mountains were inspired by how kind of pitiful the mountains of Minecraft are, how they're so lacking of inspiration, just a little sprinkled snow on them. And I was thinking, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. We gotta take our extreme hills and really, really take them to the next level. So as you can see, we have our standard stone at the lower level, and as we transition up, the trees, as you can see, get a little shorter, using a somewhat forced perspective feel to them. And then as you can see, then we transition into the snow, and then we go up, we're using a little bit of diorite, I like to call it the glacial block. And then we transition into pure stone, and then we have a little bit of snow at the top, just clinging to the sides of the cliff, just ready to slide off, and we have some ice built up around it. Now, we do have a secret Yeti cave up there, so when this world is available for download, I highly encourage you guys to check that out. And we had a little sleep there, so let's continue our tour, and let's work our way through the valley here. And whenever I do custom terrain like this, it's never easy to traverse it. So here's the back of our house, looking absolutely stunning. Of course, this is the living room right in this window there. It's all like foggy in there. What's going on in there? there. But as you guys can see, look at those mountains, just stunning. So we have 3 peaks. So we have the kind of prominent one we're looking at to the left, and we have the skeleton horse still up there. You guys love that in the time lapse. Like, shot a skeleton horse, is he still there? Yeah, he's still there. And we have the smaller one in the back, and of course the one to the right. And then we did the same design, you know, of course with the smaller trees. And I of course thought about making sure there wasn't any big trees or any obstructions through the window so we could see this area. Now we have a small little waterfall there, and I think that looks nice as all of the snow melts down. It you know, cascades down here, and I think that looks really cool. And of course, this is kind of a little homage to the Columbia River Gorge through here, of course. We've got our waterfall, and then we have our beautiful gorge built up along here. Now, I would like to deepen this eventually, but sometimes you just run out of time, and that happened there. So I really wish this was deep. I apologize about that. But as you can see, this is the back of the house. This is kind of my pride and joy, if you will, this area back here. I think it came out really nice. And I think probably like from this border all the way to there, this is like a national Scarland park, if you will. I think it came out really nice, but let's sneak over here. This does look nice with the deeper water through there. I just can't wait to have that throughout the entire area. But as you can see, let's sneak over here and just look at some of the rock details. When you're thinking of rocks in your landscaping, always remember to mix in so many different variations. So where you're in a river, you want to use a little cobble, as that's kind of a little bit more rough rock built up around. You can mix in even a little clay, a little bit of leaves poking their way through some of the rock. And as you can see, we have lots of andesite built in and around. So there's some of the path block, a little bit of coarse dirt, and these are all the little hills and things of that nature. And let's just jump over here. Now this area is not 100% done. Like everything in Scarland, it'll never be done as long as we have a little imagination. Here, I still want to work on this area. I want to add some mossy cobble, but I don't have any mossy cobble, so I got to make some. Actually, I got to get some leaves for that. Or no, vines, that's right. So I think this area came out really nice along here. Let's back up here a little bit. This is, it's like I said, it's never easy to traverse this landscape. It's similar to what we did at the roller coaster project. It's like, I can't traverse this. This is ridiculous. Maybe a boat would have been more efficient, if you will. That probably would have been best. But yeah, there we go. That is the landscape. And I hope, if anything, this gave you inspiration for your builds, things to think about when you're building, and to hopefully improve your builds. And that's my goal, is to make stuff that you guys enjoy and then also find inspiration for your own builds. And if this did inspire you, please let me know or show me some screenshots of your landscape or your builds that you created. And yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching this project. It's taken a long time. I really think we did something very beautiful and very, hopefully inspiring. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching. This has been Good Times with Scar, and we'll see you in the next project.